Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
And welcome to another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. This is Hal Coleman, your host, the Pest Control Marketer, along with my good friend and mentor, the Internet audio and video guy, Mike Stewart. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Hal. Thank you. What are we going to talk about in this episode? I can't wait. Bated breath.
We're going to talk about something that I encounter from time to time, and you encounter from time to time, and everybody that's in business or in sales encounters from time to time, and that is slumps. We get into a slump. You know, everything's rocking and rolling, and all of a sudden we realize the phone's not ringing as much, or we haven't sold much this week, or the numbers are down a little bit, and we're in a slump, and we tend to panic, and that happens to all of us, and it always takes me back to a guy named Pat Maddox. In 1990, I bought my pest control company from a gentleman named Pat Maddox, who was retiring. He had a one-man operation, just him, and I'd known him for 20 years, and he had had that business for 20 years, and he was retiring. And he had promised me many years ago that when he got ready to retire, he'd give me first shot to buy his little route, and I did, June of 1990, and that's when I entered the private sector of the pest control business on my own. So he gave me a piece of advice that just I always keep coming back to it and coming back to it. He said, listen, there's going to be times when you're working your butt off, and you just can't keep up with it. And he said, then there are going to be other times when the phone's not ringing and you don't have anything to do. He said, so don't panic. He said, when the phone is not ringing for a day or two, relish that and kick back and get your breath back, get your energy, get your focus back, because the phone's going to start ringing again. He said, so don't panic when you get into a slump. He said, and so that really stuck with me, and it happened to me, of course. But some people get into a slump, and they don't know what to do, and they get really upset and panicky and start to sweat. But I'm telling you that there are many strategies that you need to implement for your business that you're not implementing. Same as me. Same as you, Mike. There are things you need to be doing that you're just not doing now because you don't have time. But when you get into a slump, you have things set aside for the next slump. And when you go into a slump, you start implementing these other things, because now, guess what? You got time to do it. You got time to go to network meetings. You got time to join the Chamber of Commerce. You've got time to do telemarketing, door-to-door marketing. You've got time to get out in the community. You've got time to go give out flyers. You've got time to get on the phone and call your current customers and just tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, and ask them if they know anybody that would like to have a free pest inspection and analysis on their home. You just get on the phone and you start calling. Now, another example, our good friend Jim Ziegler.
Mm-hmm.
No relation to Zig, but Jim, of course, is just a great salesman. And I was at a workshop of his one time, and he said another statement that he told a story about he and another guy owned this big auto dealership at one time. He is in the automobile dealership, what we are in the pest control industry, and so he works strictly with auto dealers. And he said they got in a slump. There was no sales. They had a big payment coming up in like 7 days, and they couldn't make it, and they were sweating bullets. And back then they had Rolodexes. This was pre-computer age. And he said he had 2 big boxes of Rolodexes. So he said with his partner, he picked up a box and gave it to him and said, you go in there and you call everybody in this Rolodex that's ever bought a car from us, and you just tell them how much you appreciate them and you were just thinking of them, and tell them they need to come see you and look at the new models. And he said, I did the same thing. And he said, we sold enough business from doing that one day to turn things around and make our payment, and it just got a momentum going. And he said, I'm here to tell you, there's no problem that you can get into that you can't sell your way out of. So in the slumps, when those happen, just like when Jim Ziegler was in that slump, you get on the phone, you do what you do all the things that you don't normally have time to do. And you will come out of the slump quicker, and all of that stuff that you did during the slump will start to pay dividends for you later on, and it will just take your business on up to another little level.
Absolutely. Here's another definition that I see than the word slump. All businesses have busy and slow seasons. Now, hear me again, Hal. All businesses have busy and slow seasons. Business is fluctuating. The chances of it being just consistently constant is just not how things are. A restaurant is busy at breakfast, but mid-morning they're slow. They're busy at lunchtime, and then they're slow in the afternoon. No business in the world is going to be consistent. There are going to be busy periods and slow periods. So the tendency is to not save money and energy for the slow times, and then also not be creative of what you should be doing when it is slow time. I used to work in advertising, and people say, well, I don't want to advertise because I got too much business right now. I can't handle the business I got. Well, you better save money for advertising, because when it gets slow and you don't have business, that's the time to advertise. And then I would hear the objection, well, I don't have, I'm slow, so I don't have a budget for advertising. So you're too busy to advertise, but then you're too slow and don't have the money to advertise is not an excuse. It's just not an excuse. So prepare for the slow times, prepare for the slumps. And I'm going to give you an example in this quick story of an online slump activity. Now, we know in the PCL world, and how you can attest to this, that termite season through the summer to the fall is when PCOs are just slammed with roaches, mosquitoes, termite inspections. You are just slammed all season long. And then when the bugs go into hibernation or whatever they do and they die off because of the cold weather, that's the time to start advertising. That's the time to start doing things that other people don't do. And let's take the case study of our good friend Kobe McConnell. Kobe, last October, called me. And by the way, my number is 770-826-3662. So if you want to call me and discuss this is what Kobe did. Kobe said, I'm slow right now. What do you recommend I do, Mike? Now, I want to hear what Hal has to say about this in a minute, but I'll tell you what I told him. I said, Kobe, I'm looking at your YouTube channel. You don't have enough videos there. You need to configure them properly, and you need to spend your time creating great video content, configured properly, linked back to your website, your phone number, all kinds of contact information. And I said, load up that YouTube channel, because when you get busy next spring, you're not going to have time to do these videos, but you got time right now. So here's what happened. He loaded up that YouTube channel. with 162 videos. And you just told me, Hal, just the other day, that he is so busy from the leads that those videos are creating for him in Google and YouTube that he turned off his Google advertising.
Yep, he sure did. He said he just couldn't handle it all.
So
he
there,
said,
yeah.
He said, I just turned off my, and I'm not sure how much he was paying. I think it was around $1,000 a month or maybe $1,500 a month for AdWords and all. So there, that money's right back in his pocket again now. And he is slammed with business. And those, incidentally, that's Kobe's tentless termite and pest control, Clearwater, Florida. You go on the internet, just search Kobe's tentless termite on YouTube. You'll see all of his videos. Call him up; he'll be happy to talk with you. But those videos took him 15 minutes apiece probably to do. Some of them maybe a little more, but basically not much time at all. And those videos are going to be driving traffic to him for the rest of his life. They're out on the internet eternally, and so it's not like something you have to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You put a video up out there, and that thing's there forever.
Well, that's just one online strategy. Now, you tell me a slump, slow time, offline activity that you used to do that helped plant seeds for future business.
Oh, yeah, networking in your community, joining something like B&I, Chamber of Commerce, Rotary, anything that you can get into your community involved with a group of your peers and your fellow citizens, and networking, and you got your vehicle parked there. Hopefully it's a good response-generating vehicle. You're mingling. People begin to give you leads and do business with you. You can go pass out flyers in neighborhoods. You can get on the phone, call all of your current customers and just tell them how much you love them and appreciate them, and ask them if they know of anybody that might like to have a free termite analysis of their home. And call previous customers and just tell them you were thinking about them and you just wanted to call them and touch base and see if they had any needs. You'll be surprised. A lot of them will jump right back on board with you. You can sit down and work on a direct mail campaign. If nothing else, just take your vehicle and go drive it to a high traffic area drive it to the restaurant in town where all the movers and shakers eat lunch, and just get there early and park it right in front of the front door and do paperwork. Just let people see your vehicle. There are all kinds of little things you can do that really don't cost you anything much. It just takes boots on the ground and effort and time and focus. But using your telephone, using your vehicle, and using your feet. So those are things you can do that don't cost you anything other than your time and effort.
You know, I knew a guy that used to go to Home Depot, Walmart, and the grocery store every day with his truck just to have it parked in the parking lot, because homeowners are at all of those places every day. And so, don't go there and trespass, but go there and, go in and go shopping and, pick up something. If you don't have an urgency, go to Home Depot every day, just for the mere fact that you could park that truck in the parking lot and and people can see your truck. They can go to your website, as long as you have the right kind of vehicles. But at the end of the day, prepare for the slump while you're busy, and do something that other people aren't willing to do when it's slow and you have the time. Because sitting around and watching television and not doing something constructive for your business when you have the time is a huge mistake. Embrace the slump and do things others won't do. And of course, if you need help, how could people get with you to get you to help them?
Oh, they can just call me at 770-993-0004. I'll be glad to arrange to spend an hour with you at no charge just to talk about your business. And I'll send you a questionnaire to fill out that gives me a lot of information, shows me where I can help you discover the low-hanging fruit that's right in front of your nose that you're not aware of, and we'll that phone call won't cost you anything except an hour of your time, and I guarantee you'll come away with some strategies that you can go right out and use to start picking that low-hanging fruit. So if you'd like to do that, call me.
Well, we say in internet marketing, the lion's share of the good is for the action takers, and the people who don't take action get the scraps of what are left over. So,
I like what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, "Good things come to those who wait, but only those things left over by those who hustle."
Yeah. And I think in the good book it says, faith without action, or something that I'm not going to quote the Bible here, but I know you can have faith that things will be good, but you got to take action to make it happen.
That's exactly right. Well, Mike, listen, as always, I have really enjoyed this, and I think that we're giving people some good information. I get a lot of positive feedback about our podcast, and people that tell me they implement things that they hear us talk about and how well it works. And one guy told me, he said, "Man, I'm just growing my business, just listening to y'all's podcast and trying to keep up with everything you teach me." So I hope that's true. I feel certain it is. So we're here for you. If you'd like to know more about my coaching program, and if you really are serious and you want to jump in there and really bear down and get your business on the fast track, give me a call. Take me up on that offer.
Absolutely. Hey, and you know something? I met a guy just yesterday, Hal, who listens to our podcast and didn't know we had a Facebook group, a private Facebook group called Pest Control Marketing Gold for PCOs only. So go to Facebook and search for the Pest Control Marketing Facebook group and request to be a member. Prove that you're a PCO or a WCO, and we'd love to have you in there. Lots of people trading good information there. It's a support group for people who kill bugs and want to market it. So,
there you go, Pest Control Marketing Gold. Go to Facebook and join our group. Mike, it's been great, my friend.
See you next time.
I will say adios. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we've got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.